What is up, guys? Welcome back here in Call of Dragons. My name is Shinchi42. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to help you guys do your best pairings for every heroes in Call of Dragons. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with Infantry, then we're going to move into Cavalry, and then Marksman, and then we're going to go for the Mage, and then the last thing is we're going for the Flying Unit. Now, there is going to be a timeline, so you can hover and kind of just decide which units you guys want to check out. But if you want to have a better understanding of the game, I really recommend to watch the entire thing, because this will allow you to not only understand how you're going to set up for your gaming right now and in the future, and as well as you need to understand what are the opponents using as well. Now, before we get started into this, whenever you are doing the pairings in the Call of Dragons game, you must understand that every heroes in here have their own special attributes, right? You will be seeing here Magic, Cavalry, Infantry, and then Marksman. And then another thing to understand is that the skills in here have a attack range. So you can see the Magic unit have a very far attack range. Now for the Cavalry, we'll have a near range, and as well as the Infantry will have a near range as well, a melee. And then for the Marksman will be a medium range. I'm going to do my best in here to guide you. Now, before we get into this, I do want to ask you guys, what is the 5 March pair you guys are using? And what is your most favorite pair right now in Call of Dragons? All right, type that down in the comment section right now. And also, if you guys like this video, if you find this helpful, do smack that like. All right, so let's go with Infantry. Let's start with Bakar. Now, the first basic commander pairing that you can do with Bakar is using Eliana. Eliana is a easy hero to obtain. You will get it on the Eliana's Crisis event when you summon the puppets. Then once you work on Eliana, you can use this to pair with Bakar. This is a good pairing. It gives a little bit of a tank ability, and as well as a little bit more damage as well. The next combo that you can do is, of course, Nika. I actually do a Nika and Bakar as well on my combo before, but now I'm switching it to the different path in here. So you can definitely do a Bakar and Nika. Another combo that you can do with Bakar is Garwood. Now, this is going to be a bit more tanky. You're going to get more healing through the Garwood approach, but it's going to be a good march as well in the battlefield. Now, your role as an infantry, what is it? It's supposed to be tanking. Your role as an infantry is to tank for the magic units and as well as for the marksmen, and also to slow down the enemy that are rushing to you that are cavalry. That's the main goal for that. Another combo that we want to talk about in here is doing a Thea. Also, Thea can work with anyone. If you really don't have any other combo, you can put Thea in any of your marches here as well. You can also use Thea here because Thea is an overall unit type as well. So if you don't have any other choices, you can just use Thea. Now, let's talk about another hero here, which is Madeline. Madeline is right here. Madeline is really strong. I would really recommend using Madeline with Garwood. Madeline and Garwood is really good. A lot of, capacity for the Legion. And, it's going to be very tanky. You're going to have that healing from Garwood extensively, which is really good in the battlefield. Another combo that you can do is Nika as well. All right. You can do Nika and Madeline. This is going to be more for damage setup. Damage and tank setup in here. So this is also a good setup that you can do. Now, another one is Madeline. If you want to have a lot of big Legion capacity, you are going to be doing a Madeline and Husk. Husk is a good one, but this is going to be really for pay to wins. For free to play, I would say you got to stick with some Garwood setup in here. And you can do the most optimal that I would say for free to play is a Nika and Bakar, because you can get Nika from the chest. In the very beginning, you can definitely use Chakcha as well as Ordo, right? You can use this to pair up with your infantry as well. Now, for me, my current setup right now is actually I'm using a Nika and Garwood. This is going to be my tanking setup here in the battlefield, because I just want a tank in here, and Garwood really serves really good healing, so it allows us to survive a little bit longer into the battlefield. All right, now let's move on to Cavalry. You have Alistair, which is an epic hero here in Call of Dragons. My usage for Alistair is not a whole lot, but I've seen a lot of players use Alistair. This is a cavalry rally, and tank. I wouldn't recommend for you to launch rallies with Alistair, by the way, even though you have the rally pat because this is an epic hero. I would rather use a legendary, let the bigger players do the rallying. But the combos that you can do with Alistair, you can definitely, again, pair it up with Eliana, which is also a good setup in here. Now, you can also pair Alistair, of course. You can do it with Emery's, which is a really strong hero in Call of Dragons. And you can also use Bakshi for your combo here as well, which is a very strong hero in Call of Dragons. Also gives you a HP bonus as well. That is a combo that you can do. You can also use Tia as well for that one if you would like. If you're desperate, you can definitely do a Nika as well, just so that you can get the skill in here for the Shimmering Strike. And then if you're moving into the Cavalry legendaries in here, of course, my favorite combo right now is Bakshi and Emery's. This is my combo. I love it. Very high ability of skill damage for both heroes. I've done rallies for this one as well. So you can take a quick look in here. We have saved in here level 2 pass. We did a Bakshi and Emery onto the level 2 pass. We only got 126k severely wounded, even though we had some mixed units eventually in here. So Bakshi and Emery, a good setup in here. If you're looking for mobility and hunting farmers, you then want to go for Emery's primary, and then deputy will be Bakshi. Now, if you're desperate, I've seen people do it. I've never done it. They do a Bakshi and Nika just for the first skill of Nika, because the third skill will not really work because there's an infantry pat. You can definitely, the other skills in here will also work, especially if you're trying to, defeat peacekeeping units. You can use Nika in there. Now, there's not a whole lot of cavalries yet in here, so those are pretty much the combos that you can do. Right, you can even do, like I said, Eliana as well with the Cavs. You can pair Eliana with Bakshi, Eliana with Emery's if you're, you don't have all the other heroes in here. My biggest advice in here is that don't feel bad of what you have. Sometimes you gotta make things work with what you got. All right. Now let's talk about Marksman. The Marksmen are really good for behemoth raids, but they're a little bit soft in the battlefield. Typically, my Marksman dies pretty quickly, especially if I make some mistake. They're a little bit softer. A little bit closer into the range compared to the magic unit. But Guanwin is a solid marksman. So if you are going to start with Spring Warden, which I recommend, and then you can switch later on, get Guanwin so you can do better in the behemoth challenges. Guanwin is a solid hero. Now, I understand that we can't go in depth in this because the video is going to be too long. But the pairing that you can do with Guanwin most likely is, your epic hero in here, which is Craig, which I have used in here currently still. I do a Guanwin and Craig. Now, like I said, this is a bit more glass cannon. You don't have the ability to absorb a lot of damage, so you need to be smart, but you are going to be dealing a lot of damage with this type of combo for an epic hero setup. Now, you can also do a Guanwin and Nico, which is a good setup in here. I recommend this setup highly. You can get Nico from the gold chest in here, so if you go into the chest, you can get Nico there. Remember, right there, boom. All right, so that is very important to know. And then there is another hero that you can pair it up with as well, is Kinara. Kinara is absolutely a strong hero. Has that ability to control, right? Ability to break down the defense of the opponent. So using Kinara with Guanwin as well is really good. But for spenders, I want to say you want to do a Kinara and Nico setup. That will be a more primal march, I should say. Now let's talk about the magic heroes in here. All right, so we got Waldir, which you are going to get for the League of Orders. I think many of you guys have Waldir. Waldir is really good hero in here, has an AoE damage. So Waldir is really fun to play with, honestly. So my setup in here is I did Lilia and Waldir in season 1. This is a good setup. More optimal march that you can do is a Waldir and Valine. There's an Ice Mage combo. You can do that as well. You can even do Waldir and Eliana if you really have to. You can do Waldir and Atheist as well. This is a magic unit as well. Magic flying, though. We're going to talk about that later as well. You can do Waldir and Alwyn. This is a good setup as well. But I would really recommend doing Alwyn and Lilia if you're going to spread out your march. Do a Lilia and Alwyn type of setup in here. Lilia is by far one of my favorite magic heroes in here. Of course, she is the strongest one in here. But I think Valine might become my primary though eventually. But Lilia, I love it because I really use her a lot in Season 1, and you can get this maxed out easily in the VIP. So with Lilia, you can even do Hosk with Lilia if you spend all that money in there into the game. So you can do Lilia, Valine, Lilia, Waldir, Lilia, Thea as well you can do. Or Lilia, Atheist, Lilia, Alwyn. Alright, those are some of the combos that you can do in here. Now let's talk about Flying Hero. Keep in mind when you pair a Flying Hero in with a Land Hero, you're not going to be able to fly into obstacles. You're just going to be marching in. There's only a few Flying Heroes in here, which is Thea and as well as Atheist. Alright, and then as well as Craig. So if you're going to go for Marksman, you do a Craig and Thea. If you're going for Magic, you're going to go for Atheist and Thea. This is going to be for the Mage, alright, Magic units. I would say if you're going for Wilderberg, you definitely will be doing Craig and Thea. And for the League of Orders, you are going to be using the Atheist and Thea. Now, the Wilderberg will be running with the Wyvern. And then for the League of Orders, you're going for the Celestials. Now, for the Cavs, you don't really have that option, but you can still use Thea for the Flying Units Cavs. But you're just not going to be able to really fly when you're using Emery's there. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to go over the obstacles whenever you're doing that type of setup. So with that being said, I hope this video is actually helpful to you guys and allows you guys to do some pairings in Call of Dragons and become successful. So did any of your hero pairings that you typed in the comment section, did I mention them? Let me know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time.